Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Through the Ashes with me, Bring It On. Gonna enter the temple. Alright, Sister Aubrey. Halt. The middle-aged half-elf in plate armor, adorned with Amade's golden swords, points a weapon at you. The stern look in her great eyes leaves no doubt that she is ready to use it. Who are you? Where are you going? Oh, we're friends, Sister Aubrey. We're on our way to the Defender's Heart. I serve the Eagle Watch. He glances around, looks her in the eye and drops his voice almost to a whisper. But there is no fire on a freezing night. The grim lines on her forehead soften slightly. She half whispers the countersign. And the moon is clouded, and continues in a normal voice. Fine. You're in the clear. As for your companions, alright people, show me your hands. Gloves off. I need to see if you've got all your fingers. I swear on all the gloves I've had the pleasure of wearing, all those I've yet to try on, that this is the strangest thing I've heard over the madness of the last few days. Sentry raises his hands and wiggles his fingers. Look, all present and accounted for. Why are you so interested in our fingers? Because I've got reasons. That's why I'm asking. No protests. It's alright, Sister Aubrey. I've seen his hands myself, and I'll swear to you on my own hand that all of his fingers are accounted for. What's the matter? Now I'm explaining myself to a... fine. Have you heard of Bamir the Squeezer? Oh boy. For 4 years that brute has been strangling innocent townsfolk in the back alleys for whatever is in their pockets. He was finally caught and was due to be hanged, but then Discari showed up, now that murder is at large again. Fortunately, during the arrest, they chopped off a few of his fingers, so it's going to be tricky for him to return to his old ways. But gangsters are imaginative. They'll think of something. And here we are, trying to bag him again. So I knew he wasn't being completely honest, because he didn't know what certain components of a mill were called. But he's supposed to be a miller. And of course he didn't want to be seen by the Inquisition. But I feel like there's probably bigger concerns than searching for a criminal, so it's weird that she's specifically asking after Bamir. I know it's for narrative reasons. Oh well. He's not among you. Very well. Welcome. It's a straight shot from here to the tavern. I can see that you're tired. Rest here with us. You'll need the strength. Who are you? Inquisitors by the grace of Iomade and by the power of Queen Galfrey. Until Her Majesty's troops arrive, we hold the line here and protect civilians wherever possible. What's the situation in the city? Everything is under control. Her harsh tone and frown make it crystal clear that she has no intention of answering to you. So do I pick option 3 now? Or do I leave and go warn Bamir and then come back? You know what, if he gets caught, he gets caught. We have a group of survivors with us. Do you mind if they rest here too? Survivors. Her eyes narrow in suspicion. Of course, bring them over. They can rest up. Naturally, as soon as I check them as well. Last thing I need is Bamir or some other scum like him slipping by in your midst. We're going to hide him, just in case we need him in the future, because I have a feeling as soon as we turn him over, we're going to run across a door we can't open without him. So, hide Bamir from the Inquisition. We don't have any unsavory types in our group. I can vouch for every one of them. We'll see, we'll see. We can't let our guard down, especially not at a time like this. So these are your survivors, huh? They look like regular lowlifes to me. Are you certain that no cultists or criminals have wormed their way into this merry band? She peers at Bamir with suspicion. Bamir is moaning, and wrapped himself in dirty bandages ahead of time. Oh, the pain. Darn cultists. What have they done to me? Sister Aubrey sniffs and looks away. Bamir sneaks you a grateful nod, his maimed hand on his heart. This is no place for civilians, but we can at least offer you a chance to rest up. Sleep. We'll watch over you. Only a week ago, townsfolk would see me and start checking their purses. Now they're asking me for help. Let's say I do save them. Once the demons are sent packing, we'll be right back to beat it, Street Rat. Demons. Demons are attacking. Get out there quickly. It's no longer safe. Once again, the group of escapees was forced to make its way through the dangerous streets, which had become a battlefield. They trod carefully, staying out of sight of the demons prowling about. Now and again, they would notice strange, deformed, frost-covered figures following their trail. In their rush to lose their pursuers, the escapees soon exhausted themselves. The need for a safe shelter where they could recover their strength grew desperate. They found refuge in a church alongside other surviving townsfolk, hoped that perhaps Amade would protect them now that the Crusaders had failed to do so. Flocks of survivors huddled together in every corner, exchanging news and rumors. A few tieflings surrounded by a small knot of people, with gruff voices demanding something from the weak townsfolk. The harsh rule of war, everyone for themselves, had already taken effect. Some survivors were hoping to wait things out, while others were complaining about the place being poorly protected or preparing to set out in search for a safer haven. Footsteps and mad muttering could be heard in the darkness near the altar, so everyone avoided that part of the temple. Don Bunyan, Sandra and Ricarth immediately volunteered for lookout duty. They could warn the survivors should there be an attack. The escapees decided to help the townsfolk fortify the church that had given them refuge. Although it wasn't the escapees' intention to stay there for long, they thought it their duty to help those who had taken refuge in the church. The task of turning the church into a well-defended sanctuary. They used the tools, but it'd be easier to accomplish if they were to equip themselves with the right tools. In their bags, the escapees found a good rope, a hammer, and a few handfuls of nails, which would go a long way. I assume with the tools anybody can do it, so we'll give it to... I'm afraid I can't see. Anaya's old. I'll probably use her to check out the altar instead. We'll do it to Brody. It was entrusted to Brody. Brody, whose hands were used to simple, hard labor, got to work. Building a barricade at the entrance to the church and barring the windows was no harder than putting together a decent coffin, and so it went without a hitch. Watching him work lifted the survivors' spirits, and one of them bowing, presented Bodhi with the magical scroll. A scroll of restoration. The escapees decided to... find out who's lurking near the altar. By the altar, the escapees spotted a figure clad in plate armor, a Crusader knight wandering in circles. Like a madman, he was muttering incoherent prayers, threatening to kill the demons, occasionally starting fights with unseen foes. Witnessing the nightmare unfolding in the city must have driven him insane. Calming down the knight was Anaya's responsibility. Anaya approached the mad knight and spoke placating words to him. Her soft and knowing voice seemed to enchant him, and he let himself be led over to the other survivors' campfire. He accepted a cup of herbal remedy, and even parted with his trusty sword. It's a really good find. The escapees decided to intervene in the mugging being perpetrated by the tieflings. The tieflings, whose thuggish faces promised nothing good, had surrounded the group of townsfolk and were playing with their knives menacingly. Bags of supplies belonging to their victims lay on the floor, ready to change hands at any moment. Talking to the tieflings... we'll give it to Freda. It was a job for Freda. Sweet. Freda swooped in, making the tiefling snap to attention with a single stern command, and proceeded to read the code of punishments to them in a long-winded manner that was as stultifying as it was terrifying. Somewhere in the middle of her speech, the hapless robbers made themselves scarce, visibly intimidated by Freda's vehemence. Good job, Freda. Safe from the mugging, the people looked at the escapees with hope. Their bags of supplies lay nearby, completely defenseless. The escapees let the innocents be, wished them luck in making it out alive. Upon realizing that no one is about to mug them, the survivors thanked the escapees profusely. They invited them to sit by their humble campfire and share some of their food and warm cloaks. But the minutes spent by the fire in peace and good company restored a modicum of the escapees' strength. The escapees decided to go on their way. Leaving the church behind, the escapees pressed on. However tranquil that place may have been, they all realized that sooner or later, demon worshippers would have found it and laid siege to it. Before they could take more than a few steps away from the church, a gang of tieflings, their eyes glinting menacingly, blocked the group's path. These are the same muggers who had tried to rob the church of its supplies. Flashing their sharp knives, the bandits reminded them about the refugees in the church, the ones they had been stopped from robbing, and demanded their share. The escapees decided to I don't have 400 gold coins, I don't think. Yeah, start a fight without fear. Suddenly, new figures appeared on the scene. The escapees recognized the survivors from the church. Shouting wildly, the townsfolk charged the robbers, protecting the kind souls who had helped them fortify their refuge. Faced with this onslaught, the tieflings immediately took flight in shame. After saying their goodbyes to the escapees, townsfolk hurried back inside the church. Oh, neat. Now, the escapees' journey was long and tough. To avoid the many dangers of the city, they were forced to take roundabout routes, hiding from cultist bands and skirting around the wide cracks in the ground. The road led the escapees to a wide street strewn with bodies, black arrows sticking out of dead flesh. One of the bodies, however, was still moving. A Crusader Ranger, an arrow protruding from his chest, was still alive. He was calling out for help, brought up behind a wagon. But no one was eager to step out into the open. Several dozen townsfolk stood huddled next to the buildings for safety. They all wanted to cross the street, but were too scared of an archer perched atop the nearby tower, a nasty demon armed with a massive bow. Noise and the angry cries of cultists came from behind. Don Bunyan, Ricarth, and Sendry drew their weapons, anticipating an attack from the rear at any moment. The escapees decided to help the ranger in distress. The ranger's rescue was handled by an eye. Oh, well, I guess they have to pull him to cover, right? Screw it. That sucks. An eye crawled toward the ranger like a snake, trying to hide from the demon's heavy arrows. But the archer was good too. He predicted her movements and landed a shot in her back. And I barely managed to crawl back to the group. The wound seemed harmless at first, but then it started to smell foul. The demon's arrows must have been poisoned. The escapees decided to distract the demon archer and make a dash for the other side of the street. This dangerous mission. We know Bamir's a criminal, we might just send him across the street to distract the archer. I mean, he's the most fit out of the group, so yeah, it was given to Bamir. Oh no. Bamir. Without hesitation, Bamir grabbed the nearest townsman by the scruff of the neck and pushed him into the street. The next moment, the demon's arrow struck the townsman's leg. It seemed that the cruel beast had decided to play with its quarry a little before finishing it off. For the time being, the archer was preoccupied. Running out into the street, the escapees bolted for the safety of the other side, expecting a deadly shot to find them at any moment. The other survivors followed suit, a crowd of terrified people, their boots banging on the pavement, as the wicked demon leered, looking for a suitable target. Distracted by the escapees' maneuver, the archer tarried, and this pause gave them a good 10 steps of safety. Thanks to this, Don Bunyan reached cover a moment before the demon's arrow would have struck his body. When he found cover from the black arrows behind a wall, the escapees crumpled out to the pavement, completely spent. After catching their breath, they continued on their way. The defender's heart was so close now. Can't believe Amir just grabbed a townsperson and threw him out there. Alright, so level 5, we get a feat and weapon training. Starting at 5th level, a fighter can select one group of weapons. Whenever he attacks with a weapon from this group, he gains a +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls. The rest of it doesn't really matter since we're not going to hit level 9. But the bottom, fighter also adds this bonus to any combat maneuver checks made with weapons from his group, not this group. This bonus also applies to the fighter's combat maneuver defense when defending against disarm attempts made against weapons from this group. Athletics, persuasion, and use magic device. So I think I'm just going to grab, well, no, let's grab Outflank here. So whenever you and an ally who also has this feat are flanking the same creature, your flanking bonus on attack rolls increases to +4. In addition, whenever you score a critical hit against the flanked creature, evokes an attack of opportunity from your ally. Alright, so weapon training axes. Whenever a fighter attacks a weapon from this group, he gains a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. This group includes Bardish, Battle Axe, Dwarven War Axe, Great Axe, Hand Axe, Heavy Pick, Light Pick, Orc Double Axe, and Throwing Axe. Alright, so she gets the same thing. Weapon training and a feat. Athletics and mobility. And outflank for her as well. And she currently has a Bardish equipped, so we're going to grab this. Though there is an argument to be made for heavy blades, because we found that +1. No, I don't want her in melee range, so we'll keep it as is. Alright, Cleric gets a feat. Low religion and use magic device. I grab extra channel here. Get 2 additional heals per day. Pretty big deal. Alright, and Sentry gets a feat. A Seeker bonus feat. It's at 5th, 10th, and 15th level. Seeker gains a bonus feat from the list. Well, we'll just select it when we go. We also get invisibility. Knowledge Arcana, use magic device, and Lore Nature. Not select any more conjuration there, so instead spell penetration. These spells break through spell resistance more easily than most. You get a +2 bonus on caster level checks made to overcome a creature's spell resistance. I don't think that Greece has would benefit from that. Let's just do spell penetration. And that'll work. And I guess we'll do augment summoning since he does. Let's get greater spell penetration. Why not? I think it's the same description as spell penetration. Yeah. It's an extra +2. It stacks with spell penetration. And then here we will grab. Is only the one conjuration spell? Who has Mage Armor? Yeah, we'll grab this. Doubt I'll use it, but doesn't hurt to have. Mirror Image would be okay. Could also argue that it's a waste of a spell slot. Acid Arrow might be worthwhile instead. As a conjuration spell. Let's grab that. You know what? No. Enemies are resistant to acid. Well, not the cultists. We'll do Glitter Dust instead. Let's do that. And then Rikarth, he gets Sneak Attack and a feat. Ability, Trickery, Stealth, Knowledge World, Perception. Yeah, let's go and grab Rapid Shot. Making a full attack with a ranged weapon, you can fire one additional time this round at your highest bonus. All of your attack rolls take a -2 penalty when using Rapid Shot. What's all of them? Maybe that's not worthwhile. Let's do Deadly Aim instead. You just take a -1 penalty on all ranged attack rolls to gain a +2 bonus on all ranged damage rolls. When your base attack bonus reaches +4 and every +4 thereafter, the penalty increases by -1 and the bonus of damage increases by +2. You must use his feat before making an attack roll, and its effects last until your next turn. The bonus damage does not apply to touch attacks or effects that do not deal hit point damage.
You're not half bad.
And put that over there. Alright, so we're all leveled up. Let's go ahead and slot our spells before I forget. Yeah, let's just get more healing. Then here, a prayer and I could see remove disease being worthwhile. I'm gonna grab this because we run across a lot of alchemists. And then we'll get Animate Dead. He's already set. Alright. With that in mind, let's go ahead and cast these real quick.
All this waiting bores me.
Oh, she's a little better off than she was. So not in great condition. Let's quick save and see what we can't find.
I'm gone.
I'm out of sight.
Almost there. So that roof way over there, that's the tavern. Goody. So what are we waiting for? Off we go. Chop chop. Oh gods, no. We're done for. How many attacks per round was that? Just our luck. I think it's right between us and the tavern. Oh, there's our boss fight.
Let us bide our time.
I've already read that. How you feeling? She's feeling fine. We're near the Defender's Heart. You know anything about this area? Nothing that could help us, I'm afraid. There are no secret passages running underneath the tavern. Of that I'm sure, unfortunately. How you feeling? Doing okay? Amir? Tell me about yourself. Well, there isn't much left to tell. You know the truth, or anyways. My name's really Bamir. And my trade, well, I gotta admit, it didn't involve much milling. I clean out people's pockets in the alleys. I did squish the odd fellow here and there by accident, sure. Why bring up the past, huh? Right now, you and I are both the same. Homeless riffraff. You help me, I help you. Might just get through this whole scrape alive. The squeezer, huh? You've your own act for this goody-goody act. Well, that's the secret of my trade, isn't it? You look scary and fishy, and I will let you even come close. Make him think you're a big, kindly dummy. You go after anyone, easy. The mirror gives you a friendly smile. You've got nothing to be scared of. You didn't squeal on me, so I'll mess with you. The mirror may not be a miller. If you do him a solid, he'll remember. A bit of experience there. Right, so everyone seems to be in okay shape, at least. Oh, shoot. Ah, it's you. And eyes colorless eyes have reddened from smoke and tears. I'd offer you a cup of tea. The only problem is my house burned down, along with my tea set. How are you feeling? Awful. My darn leg is killing me. Judging by her paleness and the feverish glint in her eyes, she's suffering from more than just leg pain. Your hospital burned down. There were no survivors. I've already read this. Did we not? We'd already completed that quest. So did we get double the experience for that? Are you alright? Hanging in there. Okay, Brody, how are you feeling? Alright. So we need another scroll of remove disease for her. I should have used a scroll of restoration on her instead. She's missing a lot of stuff. So is he. What's that? 14? 3, 5, 8. Alright, so let's go ahead and use that on
standing around.
It is spider time.
Sentry.
Follow my steps.
And we'll keep this on hand in case we need it. I'm not gonna lie, I lost track of the time. I think I'm supposed to wrap up the episode now. I will go for a couple more minutes.
Let's head out.
So I knew I was gonna regret using that scroll of remove disease on Rikarth. Hopefully an eye can pull through to the very end. I'm assuming the disease will kill her once we end this chapter, if we haven't cured that yet.
Our duty calls.
I serve the Crusades, strange as it sounds. It's done.
It looks like these guards held off the enemy's onslaught to their last breath, covering the retreat and died heroes. Good for them, I suppose.
Let us be careful.
This area doesn't seem very big, does it? I swear to goodness gracious, if that's like a +1 battle axe, I'm gonna be tickled pink. I mean, there's no way it's not a special battle axe, right? So I guess picking battle axe was the right way to go. I mean, all the cultists are dropping battle axes left and right.
Something here.
Well, we can make another one of those. Another potion of lesser restoration.
I'm gone.
I did not want to go this far. It's huge. Sentry's peeking through a crack in the wall, staring at the demon. Actually bloodthirsty to boot. What's this moody fella doing here? What kind of creature is it even, all covered in spikes? Must have the hardest time sitting down. Show your trap. But here's your yapping. It'll use you as a cushion. Garth looks around with haunted eyes. Fighting it is not an option. It could spit at us and kill us dead. So how do we... We need to distract it. We sacrifice someone, so the rest can run to the tavern, while the beast is busy with them. Oh yeah? Who is it you think we should feed to the monster? That's horrific. Can't we do this without any sacrifices? Yes, lives are cheap these days. One more, one less, who cares? Brody looks at the monster with fear and whispers a prayer. The plan is solid. I volunteer. What madness is this? We're not sacrificing anybody. What are we, cultists? Better look over there. He points at the ruins behind you. The rickety building looks like it could crumble at any moment. We can make it across the roof all the way to the tavern, and no one will have to die. Sure, we're not sacrificing anybody. We'll jump on a pile of rubble and break our necks. We'll die with a clear conscience, though. Great plan. Sendry, remember how you offered to summon some special magic of yours back at the graveyard? Can you summon it now? I don't know. Sendry closes his good eye, listening to his inner self. I don't really control it. It's like an instinct thing. I don't think it wants to come out right now. Sorry. Sorcerers. I'd like to see a fighter whose sword decides it doesn't feel like slashing today. Maybe we could stimulate your magic somehow. Stimulate? Maybe. But with what? What could summon a deep-seated surge of magic? Breathing exercises? A bucket of ice cream? True love's kiss? No, that's not it. How about a good smack to the head? You think it could help? Sentry starts slapping his head like a drum. Work, work, work. Ah, it's not working. Sorry. Looks like we won't have an ace up our sleeve this time. We need to think of something else. Well, in that case, let's not risk it. We'll try something else. Good call. We'll face the demon in open battle. Are you insane? They'll splatter us all over the pavement. You really should listen to him. He's right for a change. We're not winning against that menace. Nuh-uh. We'll be fine. Move out. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, Desna, you're all the hope we have. Worst idea of your life, and also the last.
Follow my steps.
Alright, this buys me some time. I'm going to call the episode here. And in the next one, we will see if we can't take on this demon. I don't see it working out. If we could get to this axe. I guess I've committed to it. I can't actually backtrack.
Using clever tactics now. Our duty calls.
Well, we have a lot of resources. I think I'll come up with a plan off camera, and we'll see if we can't fight him in the next one. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.